Hello everyone, and welcome back to Crowley House Flower Farm. Today I thought I would take you around and just kind of show you the mid to end of May of what our gardens look like. They were absolutely stunning for the last couple weeks, and now some things are starting to fade, like the roses. Some of the roses are starting to come on, and it's just a beautiful time. Spring is probably one of my most favorite times of year to, I don't know, enjoy the garden. Fall comes and it's just like there's weeds everywhere and it's hot and it's hard to work out in the gardens and then do all the things we do as far as flower farming and designing and weddings. And yeah, so let's get on with the tour.
I'm working on a wedding and it started raining, so I had to run out and cut the roses before they got bruised. Because if you didn't know, rain will ruin roses, and so I need these. This is Lunch-Filled Angel, which is one of my favorite garden roses, one of our favorite really, and they'll open up to this beautiful David Austin. They smell amazing. They're one of my favorites to use in weddings because they're a pretty neutral cream. Anyway, that's what I'm doing right now.
So I feel like sometimes sharing a garden or sharing your own garden, I don't know about you guys, but you can feel a little intimidated to share it with the world. There's times when people come to the farm. In fact, the other day we had Kylie from Black, White, and the Grays. She's a YouTube channel that's here in Oregon as well. She's in Southern Oregon. And then we had Esther's Eden as well, and she is from Idaho. And both of them have beautiful gardens, grow amazing veg and beautiful flowers, and have kiddos, and they homestead. So it was really fun to kind of show them around, and I don't feel as intimidated to do it for you guys on the camera, which sounds really weird. But anyways, I'm gonna just go ahead and show you all the things going on in the garden. We're just gonna take it from the cool garden and we're gonna move all the way back and show you what's leaving, coming, what's gonna be replaced, and we're gonna go from there. So hope you enjoy this video. Okay, we're starting up here by the cool garden, or what I call the cool garden. It's more of a shade garden. It leans right up against the house, and also the road is on the other side, which we have a hedgerow, and you've heard me talk about how I want to change that hedgerow into an actual hedgerow, which right now is just like this brambled mess of trees. There are old plum trees. They're Italian plums. They're really messy. They don't really bear much fruit, so we're kind of cutting it back. They tend to fall into this garden. So my plan is, you can see I kind of started here. I have to move this way a little bit more. That's gonna come later, probably fall, now that we're busy with farming. So in this shade garden we have lots of hostas. I have a few, you can tell the irises are just popping off right now, which are just absolutely stunning. So I like mixing in some darker colors into the foliage, and we use heuchera. This is I'm not sure the name of this one. So we have some heucheras that are the dark colored burgundy that we kind of mix through this garden, along with some purples, very cooling colors. That's why I call it the cool garden. And then we'll have little bits of orange and things like that that pop through. So I love this Japanese maple. It just kind of like curves over and creates this little archway that is amazing. It's supposed to be a variegated, and it's really interesting that half of it's variegated and half it is the original probably type before it became variegated. But it's really fun tree. It gets really big. You can use this in cut floral arrangements as well. I like the little helicopters on it. It's kind of fun. So we have this stand of Solomon seal, which is huge. I'm loving it. I'm probably gonna divide it this fall and move some around the garden because I absolutely love it. I got just a few little starts of it a long time ago. Well, actually, probably 5 years ago. And now look at it. It's huge. I love it. So it's starting to fade. The foliage still looks nice, but the flowers are starting to fade, which is really fun. Some beautiful columbine. This is a black and or dark burgundy, I guess, purple. So I'm gonna let the seed kind of fall right here because I'd love more of that. And then over here we just have a bed of Jack Frost Brunia, Silver Brunia, which is starting to kind of fade, along with some forget-me-nots. And then we have all the hostas, the new hostas that I popped through here, and some peach foxglove that will be shooting up here shortly. So we have just a scattering of these beautiful alliums. Some of them are starting to fade, but some of them have just started to peak, which is kind of fun. Like this one's starting to go over a little bit, but I just think they bring so much whimsy to the garden. Amazing! So we have some peonies that are just kind of popped in. This one is just loving its life because look how healthy that looks and big. It's a little bit cold today, so the peonies are just kind of closed up. We have some ladies mantle that kind of, I love that combination of the kind of the yellow, chartreuse yellow kind of going into the peony and then kind of accenting against the purples of the allium. So I have some more heuchera here. And then flanking it is some daisies, which is actually something we're going to be using this next week. So that's going to be super important that they all bloom. We need them to bloom this week. So we're going to go around the corner from that garden into where the roses are and most of the cut flowers are. I have a little tiny row of nigellum here. It's not quite blooming yet, but I thought just to kind of do this wildflower little row, and they have beautiful seed pods that we use later in design. You can actually dry them. So this was an experiment. It's coming along great. I've had to weed it a couple times. Next year it should kind of keep filling out. This is kind of where the daffodils were. So now the daffodils are gone over and now the nigellum is coming up, which is kind of fun. You know me, I kind of like gardens that are a little bit messy and a little bit whimsical and not completely tidy, and part of that, I probably would have a tidy garden if I had the time for it. I don't right now. So anyways, let's go on to roses. So we've got a whole bunch of David Austin roses here. Look at this Lynchfield Angel. I believe Riley is using this in her wedding this week, but it is like probably 6 feet tall. Don't you think? Oh, stop it. So a lot of these roses we use in weddings and things like that. So we just have a smattering, but this is Port Sunlight, which is a David Austin that I don't see in their catalog anymore. This one I think I'm going to move because it struggles a little bit against that Lynchfield Angel, just because that is so huge. So this one back here, which is kind of a peach color I love, is called Carding Mill. It's kind of a sought after color, especially for wedding work. So it's a fun one to grow. And then we have, this is Munstead Wood, which is a really deep burgundy. Oh, so pretty. Love that. Kind of a big floppy rose. Beautiful. Then we coming over here is a Crown Princess Margaret. All the roses are doing super good this year. A little bit of aphids I'm seeing on them, but not bad at all. Super cool. So we're gonna keep going. So we have several peonies here, and a lot of times we use these for cuts. This year I kind of let some of these go. This is called Coral Charm. It's beautiful. It kind of starts off with this beautiful kind of corally color and then moves into this like kind of faded, yummy color. They're fun. They're fun in the garden to have for sure. They're huge. So this little part of the garden is right off of the house, and a lot of times I grow just kind of a smattering of things. So we have some bronze fennel that we like to use in the fall. It's really, really pretty. It's more of a foliage, sometimes the flower heads as well. I kind of coupled that again with some blue salvia here, and then also the columbine that was right here was called Pink Petticoat. So the combination of all three of them were just perfect. I loved it. So here I have a whole row. This is Queen of Sweden, which is a really nice upright rose. That one's, we just had rain, so everything is like shattering. Anyways, this is a row of Queen of Sweden, which is a light pink color. And then again, another row of Lynchfield Angel, which is gonna get absolutely huge. We'll probably move the Queen of Sweden eventually. I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna keep going. This is a verbena. It's just coming up. It's going to have kind of a purple hue to it, and I love it through the gardens because it gets really tall and airy, and you can see through it, and it just looks super yummy. We have some asters here that are not blooming yet, and then this is just kind of some rows that I need to fill in. Has some weeds in it, a few little pops of flowers from last year, but nothing to speak of. We had some irises over here that just finished, and then we have a little bit of lilies coming up. I believe the lilies are kind of more of a soft pink, maybe a burgundy on a few of them. It's really pretty. So along here, I just have a few feverfew. That's a mouthful. There's some dahlias in here, and then in the very back I have a little bit of volunteer bachelor buttons, which I love, and they came back, so I'm super excited about that. I'll probably let them go this year and just let them self-seed because love having that this time of year. Brayden planted up these pots here, and they're just starting to get going. Once they fill out, I think it's going to look really amazing. So right through here, we have some straw flower at the very top. And then I've done quaking oatgrass and then a little bit of phlox at the very end. I think it's creme brulee, the kind of caramel one. It's really pretty. And then we have a whole row, an older row of yarrow, and then we planted a new row section of it. So this whole thing should just come back every year and look gorgeous. I'm hoping that it just fills in really nicely. I have a row of hydrangeas here. So we have a couple boho hydrangeas. We have a couple quick fire, or the little quick fires. I just planted these last year. Then I have 2 limelight primes. This should start to take off this year, I'm thinking. Anyways, I thought just to kind of have a little bit more structure in the garden on this end, just to create, even though I'm a flower farm, to create kind of like, I don't know, a little weight to the garden. So I thought that would be really pretty just to kind of pop this in. And this is right up against this other little rose garden that we have. This is, I think we have probably 5 or 6 different varieties of roses in here, just mainly like pinks and blushes. And then we have kind of a corally yellow that people really like. We use most of these in kind of some mixed bouquets, but they're so pretty. I love how it looks this time of year. Very cottage-like, for sure. So over here, this is the Vigo garden that we put in, which I'm loving next to my little greenhouse, cottage greenhouse here. We've let some of the things go to seed in it, but it looks amazing. We've been actually cutting on this some for mixed bouquets, or little designs that we're doing, but it's kind of fun. I love the colors and with the chives turning, really fun. That purple. So the cottage greenhouse is going along fine. There's succulents in there. We'll do another tour on that one later. But right out front, this is something that I need to work on. We've got our 2 hay racks that I need to redesign. And then we have our garden roses up front. These are Carding Mill, and they are absolutely stunning. I love that peachy color. So I have some things to put into the 2 hay racks that we're gonna get in later, and we'll show you all of that in another video. So all these gardens are just a work in progress. When I first came here, this was just all weeds for the most part. I think there was a few sunflowers kind of popped in through here, but over the years we've kind of added and did different things, and never did I think that I was going to be doing YouTube. So learning all the plant names has been a little bit of a challenge. I'm working on it, but you'll have to forgive me. And sometimes I think when I get put on the spot, then my brain just goes poop. Out goes the name. Anyways, so we have some roses throughout this garden up here at the upper, I guess this would be our entertaining area. So this is called Iceberg Bud, which is really pretty. So we have some whites popped in through with some of the purples from the alliums. And then just this year we've added in a little bit of the chartreuse, or the kind of fuchsia color of like the peonies. And then I've got some annual phlox that is also that color that's going to be coming up. And then we also have like the blues, purples, pinks, whites, very cottage garden. There is a few lavenders pop through. This is a purple one, and then we have a pink one as well, which is really kind of fun. But I'm loving this, and I can't remember the name of it. I planted it a while ago, but you can use it as a cut flower, but I like that yellow kind of popping through here. I have more of those, and I think I might pop a few more in this garden, which would be really pretty. So this time of year, I just love this view going towards the house. Oh, this used to have big trees on both sides, and then kind of created this window, and we lost some of the trees during an ice storm. So I'm starting to get that a little bit with this apple tree, which is just, there's so many apples on this apple tree, it's crazy. I'm gonna have to come through and thin it. But anyways, it's just a pretty view. This little garden, we're also continuing on with kind of those fuchsia colors, the blues. I'm loving the lupin this year. They're so pretty. They're huge this year. I'm thinking I'm going to have to take some of them out because it's kind of crowding out some of the other things. But the irises, just that combination of blue, there's a light blue iris here, and then the dark blue of the lupin. And then we have some foxglove. This is a peach foxglove. There's another white one and a burgundy one. There's kind of a mix through here, which is kind of fun. We also have like dahlias popped in here and a few other things that it's going to be fun for you guys to see this garden kind of come to life, transition. That's my hope, is to kind of show you as it goes. Okay, so over here we have fire pokers, which are kind of fun. We get a lot of birds coming on this, so it's a little entertainment spot on the house. I can see it from my kitchen. They just come and nibble at it. It's really fun. Then we just have some more roses popped along the house. Grapevine. There's some spirea down here, which is just blooming. It's a white spirea. And then we have the Alchemist Jam rose going crazy like. It's so pretty. You guys have to come see it. This rose is called Alchemist, and it just like is huge. I can't believe it. Every year. This year it struggled just a little bit with black spot, so I've had to spray a little bit for that, and even with spraying it still doesn't look great. So I'll probably need to give it some sort of fertilizer or some loving. But every year, it's so pretty, you guys. I just love it. Anyways, that's my little garden tour for today, or this week's video. I hope you enjoyed that. It's going to be kind of fun for you guys to see it kind of come into shape as we plant more things. We're going to be planting out all of the annuals pretty soon, and then that's going to be filling in a lot of these bare spaces, and I can't wait for you guys to see that. So it'll be kind of fun. I kind of want to just give you like a before summer hits and all those beautiful blooms. And then we'll do another tour later in the season when it's just going really strong. So anyways, until next time, much success in all you do and grow. We'll be seeing you shortly back here at Crowley House very soon. Bye-bye.